And so in the evening, as I was we were about to just wrap up
Lapa?
the
Nonsense.
day.
Imenikumbusha kwa advert.
So as we were just about to wrap up the day, uh, hello. Oh. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi guys. My name is Shula. I'm just here as a support system. This outlet is hers, so let's make her shine.
No. Yeah. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Purity and Shulak. My name is Purity Mbugwa.
And I'm Shulak Mbugwa.
Welcome to episode 17. How have you been?
I've been... nimekuwa tu. I've been surviving.
You've been surviving. Okay,
I've been
good.
surviving.
Good.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been okay. Not surviving. I've been just quite okay. Nothing interesting.
I've been surviving through the month, but I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, January is done.
But that was fast.
Very fast. Very fast.
That was fast.
But January kumenyesha.
Vitu imekimbia.
Imeisha haraka.
Unajua Januari ndio inakanga ni kama iko na siku 60.
Nakuwa kama the longest. Normally the longest month.
This time it has really moved.
And so being the end of the month, in today's episode, I would like us to highlight something that stood out for you within the month. And this is something we're going to be doing every episode that falls at the end of the month. We'll just be highlighting something that stood out, right? Stood out for us in the month. And yeah, so I think I go first.
Okay.
Mine was something interesting, something I didn't see coming. It was, how do I put it? It was an appreciation as a result of coming through for a couple of colleagues of mine. And so what I could say is appreciation for an act of kindness, I would say. Started on this day, very chilled, minding my business. And two of my colleagues, I didn't notice the synergy at first, but one of them just started off, making me breakfast. I was like, hey, this day is good. Somebody just makes you a cup of tea. That was interesting. And as the day moved along, the other one brought me lunch. I'm like, okay, it's a bit odd, or maybe it's just a good day. And so 1 and 2 was not adding up, but I just found it a bit odd. And so in the evening, as I was we were about to just wrap up.
Lapa?
Wrap up.
Nonsense. Imenikumbusha kwa advert.
So as we were just about to wrap up the day, now both of them came together and they just sat me down. No, they didn't sit me down. They
ambushed you.
They ambushed me somehow. And they were like, we'd like to show you something. And they were kwa nini kizungu leo inakataa? It's refusing.
Hivi ilikuja na meli. Uweze bwate sikikataa tunaelewa.
We agree.
Ilitupata.
This struggling, I'm struggling. So they had a package. And it was a gift for me. And at first I thought they were bluffing. And so me with my excitement, kuchungulia, and there were some goodies inside. We're going to insert a picture somewhere. And it's when they expressed their gratitude for a period of time where they had a task that they needed to complete within a very short timeline. It was a bit time consuming. And so what it meant was that they had to work a bit later, a bit late, past 5 onwards. And so what this meant, and just the structure of how we are, it also meant that I had to be left behind with them. And so I sacrificed to do that. Honestly, at that time, I really wanted to be home very early. Yeah. But you could just see the pressure. They really needed to get it done. And so we agreed upon a time and the days in which, they would be left behind, do the work, of which they finalized and submitted, and we never had to stay late. Yeah. And for me, it stood out because at times when you sacrifice yourself for something, or when you come through for somebody in a certain situation, you may never truly understand how much you do for them. When you sacrifice for a person, or when you notice somebody is struggling and you come through for them, or ask, how can I be of assistance? What can I do to help? At times, it may seem very normal and very casual, but the impact on the other party could be very great and very, I don't have a word for that, but that stood out for me. And I don't know, it's just to encourage, if you're in a position to assist, if you're in a position to come through for somebody, just come through for them. It could be a really tough time for them. It could be, that thing that they really need to get done. And if in whatever way you can assist, please do. So for me, that was my highlight for the month. Yeah.
Mine, but that was a nice experience.
I've never felt loved in that manner.
Because at some point you also want to being appreciated for something you did. It's different.
Yeah, I did it, forgot about it, moved on. And so for it to happen the way it happened, it warmed my heart in a way that I have never had such an experience before. Yeah.
The fact that I look like a mini sponsor right now is so embarrassing for me. I've given this story again. Some time back, I've never known a flat tummy since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've always had a kapot belly. Then somehow, somewhere down the line, I ventured into fitness and I loved it. Ilianza high school kimchezo. I love this. It's keeping me on toes. It's challenging me mentally. After high school, on and off. So I've always had a love-hate relationship with fitness.
Yeah.
Because I remember after completing high school, consistent, started buffing up, joined college, all the gains gone.
Because I remember, sorry to cut you off. There's a time you were playing rugby, and your body really came.
It was really coming through. The time was going away. 2021, consistent, had a good run. Then somewhere down the line again, I fell off. Okay, at the beginning, towards the end of 2021, the second half of 2021, at least I was consistent. The body was giving. 2022 started with had a lot of pressure. The gains again, because the thing with fitness is you really have to keep going.
You have to be consistent
for you to maintain the gains.
Yeah.
It's very easy to have the gains. Ile tu unaona kabicep kana kama abs zinakama. 2022 nikashika tena line kuanzia August towards the end of the year. Then 2023, at least I was serious in 2023. But again, for the first half I was not that active, but I was still doing something. So again, the other half of 2023 got consistent.
Yeah.
Then lost focus around October towards November, because I remember November is when it really got tough. So let's just say November, December.
Yeah.
So this year, I've been looking at myself in the mirror and I don't love
the person.
I don't love the person I'm seeing. The katumbo is back, but the abs zilikuwa zishakam. But no, these days
yeah, the body was starting to really give.
I know for a fact my body has already shredded sai, so it's just
toning up and building muscle.
So I have some friends whom I work out with at the gym. They had also veered off, and we decided everyone is going to come back in January. So 3 of them made it back. One the first week, the other the second week, the other one the third week.
Okay.
And one of my guys, I won't mention his name, but the guy who we normally interact sana, we push each other, we work out together. He was mad at me.
Your workout buddy.
Yeah, he was mad at me for not showing up in January. Then towards the end, he texted me. I remember the first instance, he was very mad. Nilijua tu. And that made me feel
he was holding you accountable.
And there he was, not even giving a hoot about it. I'm like, nitarudi. So towards the end of the month, he texted me, hey, kwani WhatsApp uliamuaje? Like, hey, I've been procrastinating a lot. Seti nanibamba, but I'll be back. Sasa, I was expecting him to retaliate, be like, kawaida yako nini. The guy gave me grace. He was like, as long as health is uko poa, inaeleweka. So, acha nikupe hii break ya hii wiki na next week. Now the week where tulikuwa tunaingia Feb.
Okay.
Pige clean slate ya February. And I hope this time sio zile siasa zako. I was like, again, he gave me a second chance. That was my highlight, because it made me realize that you actually never know the impact you make out there.
When
just being just your presence
and doing whatever you're doing,
pushing yourself, pushing others. Like this guy, we don't even know each other that much. We don't even have like personal talk. It's just like, but we love seeing each other in that environment. On some days we do legs together, we squat together, but most of the time it's just normal talk. Hey, leo nimebeat, hey, leo nimepush, challenging each other. Hey, unaenda late aje leo? Mkiwa na gains zake kwa zile za hey, it's giving the same for them. Then you look at yourself in the mirror, you're this unproportional human being. The handles are coming out.
Yeah.
The kapot belly is back. You're walking, unajiangalia hivi unaona tu unakaa kama mzai, kwanza umebeba tu fungu. Unataka ukienda kwa joint ya wazai utafit in vizuri.
Like you feel your body, you can feel you've gained.
But also knowing that the moment you feel yourself, it's a whole triple effect.
Yeah.
It's not just you're feeling a whole bunch of people, immediate family, friends. Because for that guy to keep asking me why you're not coming back, and even last year when we started working out together, there was also that checking up. I remember that was even the reason we exchanged numbers.
Yeah.
So that when any of us misses,
you can always
kwani WhatsApp, come to school, to school. So that was my highlight, being given grace and realizing that the moment I'm not showing up for myself, it is a ripple effect. It's also affecting others. Your presence is actually very important, because it's not like I help the guy to lift weights. He's bigger than me. Most of the times he's the one behind me.
Yeah.
When they're strong, but just that presence, iyo kuchochana. Yeah, so that is my highlight of January.
I think at times when you're showing up and when you're pushing yourself to do what you do, what we forget is that somebody is watching.
Yeah.
And somebody could be also trying to feed off that energy also. Yeah, like that guy pushes himself, I better show up, right? And so yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting perspective.
But I think I mentioned this in last week's episode. Was it last week's episode? The other one?
No, maybe
we were just having normal talk.
No, I think it's normal talk. I don't think we mentioned it on here.
When you said I'm tired of always starting from scratch.
No, that was a conversation of.
Oh yeah, because you're like, okay, I want my actions to speak for me.
Yeah.
There's no you tell people I've been working out since 2019 and you still look like just like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like you really have to convince someone that, yo, by the way, work out. And if we work out together, you are done.
And you know,
they're like, really? There's nothing to show.
The words and the actions are not. You know, it's interesting. One of these colleagues of mine didn't say he works out, apparently. And he didn't mention it to me that he works out. One day, we are working, you know, everybody minding their business. For some reason, I just looked at him and I noticed his biceps. And I was like, oh, that guy works out. So I just asked him, by the way, do you normally work out? And he was like, yeah, I do work out. And so I understand when you say at times you don't need to speak for people to identify with what you do. You being there, it speaks for itself.
And also personally. Yeah. I also want to know that by the way you've been doing this. You're jacked up because you've been showing up consistently. Yeah. You're scaling up because you've been showing up consistently. Yeah.
I think also a discussion we've had before is, for instance, I've been working out. This week I did it a bit consistently. And so I think we tend to have a tendency of when you fail 1, 2, 3 days, it almost feels like it does what? It nullify everything else that you've been doing. And so I think it's just a mindset of, okay, today I didn't make it, tomorrow we do it again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, then what? Then you fall off. Then now you have to start off again, which is not very nice.
Starting from scratch
it's the hardest.
And also the meaning for yourself.
Yeah.
At times you look at yourself and you're like, sasa wewe. And when it gets to that point where you yourself
don't believe in yourself,
you're like, plus that feeling now makes you even veer off kabisa. Because you're like, umesetala mwezi nzima hujaamka wewe. Unasahau kuna time consistency yuko.
Yeah.
But that's something I'm working towards right now. And it's in all areas of my life.
Okay.
Like, hey, I'm tired of just kila time scratch. With my music. Like, for instance, songwriting. I haven't written since last year, October.
Oh, last year.
October. They still consider myself an artist. Sikatai kuna catalog, but I can't be relying on the craft I've already made before. I need to keep my mind
keep trying.
Remember, I used to draw. I also need to get back to that.
To drawing,
just to keep my creativity
at par.
Yep. So that's just something. That's my challenge, and I decided that it's not going to be a 2024 thing. It's going to be a lifetime thing.
Okay.
Because anytime I go, I want to do an analysis of myself. I don't want to start convincing myself otherwise. Ati, you are an early riser.
You're convincing yourself that you know,
but deep down I know
you've not been
this week
up early.
I woke up early once. Ingine ni 1 hour to ama 30 minutes. You know I'm supposed to leave the house, let's say at 8. You wake up at 7:30. By 8 uko huko nje umesmile yako yote. Because there's also something with some quite alone time.
In the morning,
In the morning.
Yeah.
There's also that, just pushing yourself, having a routine. Sticking to a routine is something. I work based on routines. I think you know that.
Yeah.
that's just how I function, even for the better part of last year.
Yeah.
Routines are the thing for me, so I'm just trying to jump back into that and not veer off.
And it makes you very productive.
Yep. Because hey, at this point, I'm not even that productive. I'm just doing
the bare minimum.
Yeah, the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Shoot, edit, go to work, come back, practice a day or two hivi. Ingine unaangalia kitu kwa zile za unaingia kwa simu. Getting back to that though. Okay. Beast mode.
Okay, beast mode. I want that for you. And February is not far off. Itakuja itaisha. We will sit here.
Time flies.
We will sit here and see whether he has managed to at least be consistent.
Right? To get back on track. Because najonga nikiwa on track na kuanga unstoppable. Ingine sio ukiniambia twende hivi tunaenda. Hata principles out of the window.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. So give people grace. I think that's your pointer. And be kind and assist when you can. I think that's the highlight for this month. Yeah. And so we will see you on the next episode. On the next episode, we are going to dive into tips to help you ace your first job. Yeah. So
we'll be giving
pointers around that. But for now, you can catch us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Purity Mbugua. On Instagram, we are at
Purity and Shulak. And we will be seeing you every Friday, right? Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you on the next one. And let us also know how your month has been. Oh, yes, please. Yes. We would love to hear your experiences. And it's a good way to just leo maneno zinapotea. To recap. To keep track, just keeping track of your progress. Where did I veer off? Yes, what do I need to do better? And basically just being able to hold yourself accountable. Which is nice because someone said you can never get perspective by thinking about the future. You only get perspective by looking back. That's when you really know, okay, this month I've been this kind of guy. This week. Reflection is quite important. Reflection. That's the word. Reflection is quite important for your growth. So that you know I lagged on this and this. So I'm going to work on this and this. Taking a step. Yep. Okay. This was a short one, a nice one. Yeah. See you on the next one. Sayonara.